yeah.
I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah, man. I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. Hey man, we might have a surprise for the show today. But with that being said, welcome to episode 827 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU dash for all things HBCU sports. For institutions large and small, from the NEIA to the NCAA, we share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. In short, we just call it the HBCU sports pedagogy. I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta, along with my co-host, Mike Washington. Yes, I did say Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. We're filming from our home studios and sending a signal live. KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer, multi-Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. With that being said, let's bring everybody on board, including Mike Washington, Big Mike. Everybody, let's give Mike Washington a big round of applause. I'm just glad to see you, brother. I wasn't sure that we were still on the same page. I didn't still know if he had any love for you, boy, anymore. I was just checking on him. I'm glad to see you here, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm past this season of change. Kids graduating, kids moving back from 4 states over, changing jobs. So that the spring has been, you know what it is. Life be lifing. So thank you. I want to thank these brothers for supporting me, standing by me. I know they were like, where in the heck is Mike at? Where is he at? So just know that life be lifing. Sometimes you change when you reach that part of your career or whatever. You got to make a change. So, and I know Charles with the kids graduating in the spring and traveling and all of that stuff. So I want to thank these tip of the hat to these brothers as well. So glad to be back.
Trying to show out some love for Charles as if he could relate. Man, Charles ain't worried about nothing.
Life be life in there. Life be life.
Life be life.
Is that the word of the day? The trilogy, life be life, and it's life be life.
Life be life.
Life be life, and I'm telling you.
and I don't know what's going on in Nashville. I don't know what's going on with the ticket situation, but life be life, and I've got 3 phone calls today about
your tickets are life right now.
Okay,
They won't give y'all no tickets, man.
I don't know what's going on, but I was fielding calls.
So I was seeing that on
guys some tickets.
I was seeing that on social media. I was like, I couldn't wait to ask CB that. What's going on in Nashville?
I wish I knew.
It's the curse of trying to play at the same time with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff.
That's pretty good. Yes, the dean and the 3 professors in the building. Grades are in.
Doc, before you go any further, I just gotta ask G Boom, put Mike on full screen so everybody can take a screenshot of Big Mike on the show, because it may not happen again for a while.
Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing? Is that what we really doing?
It's called hazing, man. It's called hazing.
Okay, you ain't seen hazing. You ain't seen hazing. You wait till I get back in stride with this show. You ain't seen hazing just yet. You
Oh
wait.
man, do I need to prepare to take some
you
wood, y'all?
you better take your shots now, cause the wood is coming. It's gonna take me a few shows to get back in stride, but you better take your shots now, cause they coming.
I'm officially nervous. I'm officially nervous.
So,
Good stuff. Good stuff. With that being said, I'm going to go to you first, Mike, as the star, if you would. What news of the day do you want to share with the people?
well, shoot, man, you would start with me, but let's talk track and field. Because I actually made my debut at 1876 in sports and culture this past weekend, and we talked about track and field. So the SWAC represented the national stage with several people. So I'm gonna read you Southern's Tashina Alase turned in the conference's top performance in the national championship meet. She earned her eighth place in the women's 100-meter hurdles. She had a time of 13.18. So I ran track. I had close to that time back in high school. What do you believe?
She ran it, but you had close to that time. I just want to make sure
I had,
everybody heard that.
oh yeah, you heard that right. I had close to that. Hey, don't interrupt me. Florida A&M's Leonard Mustari represented the SWAC in the men's 110-meter hurdles. He finishing 20th nationally with a time of 13.58. Alabama A&M's Justin Walker completed the men's long jump, 22nd nationally with a mark of 6.69 meters. That's about 21 and a half. No, actually 21 feet, 11 and a half inches. So Alabama State freshman Deadrian Beeville completed the Hornets women's triple jump, and she had a historic jump. She had a record mark of 13.19 meters, 43 feet, 3 1/4 inches, and some change. So I did this. I bought this out on the show, and you look at the last 10 years. I want to do this as an add-on. I'm coming in new doing this as an add-on. If you look at the last 10 years statistically, there have been 3 or 4 colleges that have shown up in the finals of the NCAA nationals. There have been North Carolina A&T, Howard, Southern, occasional appearances by Alabama State, Texas Southern, and maybe a few others. Southern University, I'm sorry, is in there. So my question is to get to the nationals, and normally we go to the Western Nationals. And that's no easy feat. That's the Western Regionals. And to get to the Nationals is no easy feat. You hear 22nd, they finished top 20, they finished top 8. That is no easy feat. And then you look at the last 10 years and you see those 3 or 4 schools. Where are the other 6, 7, 8 schools? I bought to point out that Coach Jack A at Prairie View and then other coaches. Where are these other schools? Why is track and field not serious at these other HBCUs? Because it's the same 3 or 4 over the last 10 years. If their program flourishes, that have brought athletes to the finals. So I guess I wanted to pose that question because I remember back in the day talking about track and field, and my folks who went to HBCUs, they were like, man, they used to talk about TSU relays and all of this and that. And I don't want to get into that, but that's just my question. So that was my news of the day, but that's also my question of the day. Where are the other HBCUs? Is track and field not serious? What's happening? So
I think we got some time, so we'll push some additional news segment, but let's stay on that. I think you pose a really good question. And I'm going to ask you, Charles, your perspective from the Division One or SWAC, whichever way you want to go. And then AD Drew, I will ask you to ponder from a Division Two perspective regarding HBCUs. So, Charles, if you would go ahead and provide your answer to Mike's question or query.
Well, no, I think it's. I think when you take a look at it, it's the bigger schools are snatching up the best talent. I mean, it's kind of tough to sit back and watch just over the past 30 or so years where athletes that were at HBCUs, much like we see with other sports. I mean, we're just seeing them dot all over, the SEC, the ACC, things of that nature. And some just kind of fall through the cracks. I know with my child being recruited, there just weren't a lot of HBCUs that tapped her on the shoulder, but she got looks from other schools. So,
yeah,
I don't know where the fault lies on that.
I got you. Awesome.
Good question and good points made there. That is it from the framework that the SEC and other historically white colleges are coming in and swooping in that talent, providing different opportunities, and with more resources, whether it's directly financial or building on that, maybe they're able to get that. So I think you pretty good pin on what may be taking place out there. But I also thought it was important to include Division II, coming from somewhat a different time standpoint. 80 Drew, what is your perspective looking at it from a D2 lens?
And I'll probably bring a little bit of a unique perspective because Morehouse itself has dominated SIAC track over the last 40 years or so under Coach Willie Hill. Got other programs such as Albany State and Benedict in the SIAC. And let's not forget St. Augustine and everything that they did over there in the CIAA, which was a whole class to themselves and everything. On the Division II level, Mike, number one, you see that sometimes we are not running in some of the top competitive meets, although there's a lot of cross mixing as far as running against Division I opportunity. You don't see a lot of us in things such as the pin relays and those type of big events where you get pushed to do your best when you run into something like the pin relays or you running out of Eugene early or something like that, because you're competing against the best of the best. And if you're going to set a PR, that's going to be one of those places where you do it. I'm not gonna lean onto the facilities portion of it, but I am going to lean on the staff portion of it. Where a lot of your big schools, your Tennessees, your Oklahomas, your Alabamas, your Floridas, and everything, they have a sprint coach. They have a hurdle coach. They have a long jump coach. They have a triple jump coach.
They have a nutrition coach. They have a nutrition program.
I hadn't even got that far yet.
Yeah.
But they have coaches who just specialize in some of the techniques that you need, because when you get to that elite level that you're talking about, Mike, talent no longer gets you there. It's talent, technique, and fundamentals. If you look at those first team All-Americans that you have to have, it's not just pure speed. It's the speed with coming out of the blocks with the proper technique to the stride. I mean, take the great Edward Moses at Morehouse, the first person to ever come up with the 13-step technique in the 400. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, you have to go back and read about the story. Matter of fact, I still have an interview with him that I have never posted, but everybody used to take 15 to 16 steps in the 400. Yeah. He scientifically figured out how to extend his stride out to his 13 steps, which is why he had that dominance for 10 years. But being, stuff like that. And you said the nutrition, Mike. When it's all said and done, we still got to go to the calf to eat. Yeah. Well, a lot of these people will be able to get those protein shakes and those other things that help with the recovery, with the sweat and the electrolytes that you lose and the pounds that you lose when working out. So it's a combination of those certain things that Yeah, we may dominate our conference, but
Yep.
when we take it to that next level, and when you talk
Yes.
about on the Division I level, where you've got to not only after coming through conference, but you have to go to regionals and then to the nationals. To do it for
Exactly.
another 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it gets there are a lot of different factors that go into it. I'm sorry if I was long winded.
No, I
No,
thought that was
no, that's good.
perfect.
I thought that was good.
I do want to say this. We're gonna end up taking our first break, but I think Charles had some additional things that he wanted to ask or add to it. You made me think of some things, and I have a question that I want to ponder. But to kind of sum up what you said, I'm fascinating when you talk about now the specialization of sports, which at a youthful there's some concern about how early do you specialize, but certainly in college it makes sense that you start to specialize, and how much is that starting to separate the field. And as Charles alluded to in terms of track and field is the example we're looking at now, how much does it spread to other sports? Obviously we're looking at the College World Series for those that may be following that to some degree. Obviously the World Cup is here, and obviously it's a international thing, but we know that in different countries they do academies and things of that where they allow athletes, if you would, to specialize. But let's take our first break, come back, and let's do another segment to expound on this, getting Charles a chance to come back in. AD, I know you wanted to add some additional thought to it. So I think we'll just take another segment to take a deeper dive in what that framing is. We'll be right back after this first segment and continue the discussion in terms of track and field that Mike put on the table.
Welcome back, Big
When
Mike.
it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
test the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball, So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Dr. Cavil's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. I thought we were going back to that Charlie Brown and Luke. With that being said, I'm glad I didn't have my finger up my nose, anything like that. I'd never lived that bad on screen. So I'm so concerned that's going to happen. But before we get back in the discussion, since this is track and field related, I did want to give an update from Lyons and Billups earned first team All-American recognition as outdoor season concludes. Howard's junior sprinter, Yanari Lyons, and sophomore hurler, Sanaya Billups closed out on the 2025-2026 track and field season as All-Americans, delivering standout performances Saturday in the outdoor track and field championships. Billups opened up the season with a 6th place finish in the 400 meters hurdles, crossing the line at 55.42 to earn first team All-American honors. Shortly afterwards, Lyons capped a remarkable season with a 5th place finish in the 200-meter dash. The Georgia native clocked their personal best, 22.31, securing first team All-American recognition in her NCAA Outdoor Championship debut. Howard wrapped up the national meet with multiple All-American honors after sending 7 student athletes across 4 entries to the national meeting. So did want to make sure I put that out there as we further this discussion. I think, Charles, you wanted to jump back in, and I noticed you were pondering something, and then I'll go back to AD Drew, as I know he wanted to add some things as well.
Well, it's sort of a curiosity, and the question I ask is track and field, is it still popular, or has it become about as niche as boxing? Because boxing once upon a time was huge, and me thinking more about it, even we talk about the lack of black baseball players. I mean, I'm talking about sort of the thinning of the herd in terms of the elite talent, who gets the elite talent, what filters back to HBCUs. But I'm just curious, just taking a look at it, just from this standpoint, you used to see a lot of track clubs all over the place. Yep. And you don't particularly, I don't think you particularly see that. How much has 7-on-7? How much has AAU really knocked off the numbers of kids that were actually participating in track and field?
I think, no, go ahead. I'm sorry, AD Drew. I think you next.
I throw my 2 cents in on Charles's questions before I ask mine. What about the availabilities of tracks to run on? And I'll go back to my days as a park and recreation director in Tuskegee, Alabama. We practiced on a field that used to be a football field. We did not have a track, and we had to guess what 100 was. We had to guess how to make a curve so that we could learn how to run the 200 and the 400 and everything like that. And this was at a youth level. Now, I will say this, Charles, because of my love for track and everything else, and I was blessed to have a parent who ran track at Central Michigan, and she kind of took over the direction of my track program and everything. We started kids 6, 7, 8 years old out there running. I think we went from 6 to 14 was our program, and that was of all the programs that I started when I was director there in Tuskegee. That is the only program that's still existing in its same form for my day. And I'm kind of proud of that, because I've been gone from that program since 2016 as the director. 2016, 2017. But anyway, that program has produced a lot of young men and women who went on to play college. But to get back to it, track went from being something that you did. So in high school, you did it so you have to go to spring practice. For these kids, from fighting the battles, whether they should be out there playing baseball or softball or running track, to where it became the primary sport in that community. Not every community has that approach. Not every community has somebody like me who believed in track and understood what track did, we push, like you said, we pushing them to 7-on-7 football. We pushing them to the ones we can still push to baseball. And how about travel basketball, Charles?
Yeah,
Travel
yeah, exactly.
basketball has fallen into what used to be our track season.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of different factors outside the fact that what are we gonna do with that? You got insurance to do this. How much are we gonna charge you just to practice? Hell, you coming in here with some kids. I'm supposed to give you this facility for free if it's up to me, as long as you maintain the facility for me and do what you got to do. I'm
Uh,
sorry, Mike.
no, I think Doc hit it on the nail. Specialization has become more prevalent, and if you look at it, track and field for those who specialize in it is year round. It used to be that, yeah, you ran track and field to supplement your career in your football career, or to
Right.
supplement whatever. Now they want specialization. You look at any spring sport. Baseball is now a spring sport. You look at softball. That is not, I'm sorry, year-round sport. Softball, year-round sport. These are all year-round sports. It gets very expensive as well for the upkeep of these sports. You talk about tennis, you can talk about any spring sport. It is very expensive. And now throw in the factor that it's now become specialized. Now that's another factor that's compounded kind of the issue we're talking about. And you wonder, where are we at? Where is this track and field, and where are HBCUs in the fold?
Yeah.
What we talked about coaching and nutrition, but it's a specialist type game now.
Yeah. And you
I
want to talk
wanted
about the
to put this on
specialization?
the table from this perspective.
Oh,
With all the things that we brought up, are we recognizing the college athletes, particularly from our institutions, that succeed, that place, that even make it to nationals or regionals for that matter, that place at nationals? How special are those college athletes, and how special are those coaches? If the assumption is that larger institutions, more well-branded institutions, better funded institutions are putting college athletes in a position where obviously all of them work hard, we're not going to say that, but the expectation is because that they should be there. So when our athletes make it here, obviously we give them, some recognition. But if what you all are bringing to the table and what I even added is true, it just hit me and made me think that these coaches that are getting athletes with less resources, less equipment that is supporting them, oftentimes athletes they may not have specialized as long or had the same resource specializing as early. And this could be any sport, not just track. How much more special are they and the coaches that are able to maneuver and get them to the opportunity where they're placing fourth in a national event, place them in a position where they're all Americans in a national event? When you think about it, I'll let you start with it, Mike. To kind of spin it differently, it sounds like those that are able to achieve, we should be recognizing them even more than what we do.
Yeah, I agree. I think I said it, but to make it to the final round, if you're especially coming from an HBCU, remember you've got qualifying meets, you've got conference meets, then you've got regional, and to make it to the final round, that's a big deal. That is hard in and of itself. And when we say, or we read in social media or any news that they finished eighth, they finished seventh in the finals, That is a big deal. That means they're seventh, eighth, nationally ranked, and they don't have, going back to AD Drew's, the facilities, the coaching, or whatever. I don't know if we put that in the right context, to be honest.
Does it reach the national consciousness though? That's kind
Exactly.
of what has it become niche where it's like, oh, okay, where that
Right.
wouldn't
And to your
let me
point
put
is,
this.
I guess part of that is us.
Yeah.
Reflecting on it different. And that's why I said it hit me really differently to understand that maybe part of it us in not just saying, hey, this person finished fourth, but because of the conversation that you all put on the table, it made me realize that those that do achieve, they are pretty special in regards to the accomplishments. And we need to make sure, and the institutions need to make sure that they're really putting a spotlight, to some degree, more than just, a email that goes out there. And I know there's only so much you could do. But if we get folks that get to this level, maybe we should be considering, a little more momentum and momentous framework of what they accomplished. AD, I'll let you have yours and then kind of go to the next break.
A couple of things. One reason that we may not see kids from our institutions consistently get to the level that we are talking about today is
right. I think we parked it. I want
to. But I got to bring this. I'm bringing this back. I'm bringing this back full circle.
Okay.
I'm bringing this back full circle. When you look at it and you look at those athletes who make it to nationals, those athletes, when they're running throughout the season, may run one, maybe two events at those power schools because they have just volume of kids, which allows them, when we talked about specialization, which allows them to specialize in one or two, the 100, the 200, 200, 400, the 100 hurdles, whatever it is. Where when we look at a lot of times, when we go to our track meets, we've got our better student athletes running 3-4 events. Why are they running 3-4 events? Because we try to accumulate points so that we can win the track meet. So part of it, we talk about the coaches. Part of it is because the coach is trying to do what they have to do to make sure they maintain their job. I'm going to put my best athlete in 3-4 events where he or she could get points. Well, when I'm at a larger institution, I may not have to do that because I could just put them in 1, possibly 2 events, let them get even better in those 1 or 2 events. And then because I've got a whole stockpile of other people in some of these other events where they're above average and good, but I got another great one over here who's also there in Eugene and everything. So that's a little something that may have to that may kind of affect what we're talking about here, along with the mental aspect of it, because the one thing, you can't hit your PR too early. You've got to be peaking for 3, 4, 5 weeks consecutive. That goes with your training, your mental, your physical, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know how many people actually ran track listening to us, but the mental might get it down in that block, going through everything that you have to go through in your mind to prep yourself for race, but still blocking out everything to focus in on when you hear that pop and not come out that split second too soon because you anticipated, because that's all it takes for you to go sitting on the sideline watch somebody else get your goal.
Yeah, that's a great point you make there. And I think, again, it brings back to the focus that I wanted to be on, is that when we have college athletes that make it, whether it's to the league, make it to the NCAA, or take a team to a level in track and field and find themselves All-Americans, I think we really need to take a step back and really understand just how special that moment is.
Yep.
And make sure we're doing what's in our position to really honor and reflect, and not just saying, "Oh, hey, did you know this person finished fourth? Or this is all American," but really to focus on saying that this individual, was able to do this in a sea of individuals that have much more resources to do as well or better than that individual. I think that's a major accomplishment, not just from the college athlete, but also the coach or coaches that were able to help make that happen. So let's take our second break. We'll come back and get back into some more news, see if we have some further discussion. But I'm glad, Mike, that you brought that up, and everybody else that expounded on it and let us take a deeper framework of it and allow me to see something a little different that I now would not ignore in terms of just how powerful it is for those individuals that succeed amongst all the odds. We'll be right back after this second.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market. Build your legacy. Secure your future today.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSU Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSM Sports Lab, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with the professors. That's Professor Washington, Professor Bishop, Professor Drew, and Mike coming back to the show and getting honored and just blowing up the script. But it's all good. Great dialogue, great discussion. He gonna do what he do, especially after Drew charges him up and he starts talking about hazing. You knew it was over. You just knew it was over. Charles, What direction do you want to go? I'm gonna give you a chance to get some news out. What news of the day do you want to get out since Mike kind of stole all of our thunders from that state.
Yeah, let's take a look at Ian Wheeler with the Louisville Kings. Former Howard University standout Ian Wheeler led the Louisville Kings to their first United Football League title after dethroning the DC Defenders 27-20. Wheeler was named the United Bowl MVP, finished with 81 yards rushing on 10 carries on a touchdown. During the Louisville Kings playoff run, he recorded 170 rushing yards and a pair of touchdowns. So kudos go out to Ian Wheeler, former Howard standout, with what he was able to get done in the United Football League.
Yeah, good point. And they get it done against the Washington franchise that has been owning the league. Obviously, there's a connection there with HBCU and Tennessee State and the defensive coordinator coach. So interesting to see. Couldn't pull off the trifecta, but certainly had a great run in the playoffs in terms of getting back to a championship game for the third year in a row. With credit, as you said, former Howard University standout, Ian Wheeler, showing up and showing out in the United Football League, better known as the UFL. Since I gave Charles a little time to shine, I'm going to go back to you, Drew. Don't want to leave you out there, and make sure that I give you a chance to talk about what is your news of the day in terms of your thoughts going.
I'm going to stay close to home, specifically where I get my bread buttered and the jelly put on the toast. Morehouse's Ridley named to 2026 Sifford Scholarship Cohort. And this comes from the SIAC.com. Morehouse College golfer Jalen JT Ridley has been named to the fourth cohort of the Dr. Charles L. Sifford Scholarship recipients, the Sifford Scholarship Committee announced on Monday. Ridley, who completed his first season with the Maroon Tigers, was selected as one of 12 students from a competitive pool of applicants representing HBCUs across the country. The Sifford Scholarship Fund was established in 2022 in honor of Dr. Charlie L. Sifford, the first black golfer to earn a PGA Tour card in 1961. The fund was created to help cover tuition expenses for HBCU students and students enrolled at accredited PGA of America golf management programs. The Cobbs Creek Foundation serves as the fiscal sponsor of the scholarship fund. From its founded in 1916, Cobbs Creek has embraced both black and women golfers and served as the home course to Dr. Sifford during his lifetime when he was a resident of Philadelphia.
Good stuff there. Good stuff. Shout out.
First of all, you said jelly. You got to say jam or preserves. If you're going to throw that name out there, you got to say jam or some preserves. For real, if you're gonna throw that out there, and that I think that was established in 2022.
Yes.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's what I said.
Yes, I'm just making sure because I'm hazing you.
Hey, do I need to remind Mike that although G Boom is producing, I still have a mute button back here too, Mike.
I don't care. G Boom know he gonna mess with it. G Boom.
No, that was Drew. That was Drew Boom.
Don't mess with me. This is my first episode back. Don't mess with me.
Ooh, boy, I tell you that. Boy, you know. Got me mid-sentence.
Sorry, Doc, I had to step in. You don't say jelly. You say preserves and jam. If you from the South, you say preserves and jam. All right, thank you. Show your roots. All right. So okay,
my roots.
Go ahead, Doc. Roots. I'm sorry. They pulling me out.
Oh, that's good stuff. Good stuff, boy. Mike come back hot, man. He just all over it. I did want to get in a little bit of this conversation in terms of, man, this opportunity for Claflin University, which a high school is being rebuilt in the old high school, which has some pretty good facilities. More importantly, it has some facilities that Claflin doesn't have for their own sports. So I wanted to get a little bit more. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time into breaking it down and giving some thoughts how that may affect them in terms of D2 operation and if that moves forward. So fascinating to see what that looks like. But let's take our last break so we can come back on the other side and really take a deeper dive in what that could mean for Claflin and just your general thoughts on something like that, because that's not a natural thing that necessarily happened. We kind of seen this a little bit from a standpoint when it looked like Miles was going to be able to purchase the private school there in Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham Southern, thank you, AD. And I think they still use it in some cases for practice, although a finalized announcement on any deal has been made. But let's take our last break and come back and really focus on this unique opportunity for Claflin and see what your thoughts are on that. We'll be right back after this last break.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market. Build your legacy. Secure your future today.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Greetings, Santhus. My name is Roland Austin, and I'm one of the directors at the 1876 Athletic Foundation. The 1876 Athletic Foundation was formed to promote the success of all 343 student athletes. Our overall goal is to fund scholarships for all of our student athletes. We ask that you help us in achieving this goal by donating to the 1876 Athletic Foundation via the QR code below or 1876.foundation. Your generous donation will help us continue to assist the needs of all of our Panther athletes. Thanks, and go Panthers.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball, So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gonna teach a lesson.
Dr. Cavil's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We here with Charles, Big Mike, and AD. Great job there. Holly getting it done in the background. Appreciate that. Wanted to take some time and kind of read through this in case you hadn't heard of it. But I thought this was pretty unique and to some degree a significant opportunity for Claflin University. Claflin University is going to own a high school. Here's what will be done with it. This is coming from HBCU Sports. One HBCU will have access to potentially new athletic facilities after a local donation. The Orangeburg County School District Board of Trustees voted unanimously this week to transfer ownership of the current Orangeburg Wilkinson High School campus to Claflin University after the high school relocates to its new campus on Cook Road. The move will allow Claflin University to use school's athletic facilities while preserving the site as a community resource, university officials said. During the presentation, the school board in May, Claflin President Dr. Dewan Warmack said the university's primary interest is in the athletic facilities rather than the academic buildings. We hope we can be collaborative effort, end quote, Warmack said. We want to do it there to preserve that legacy, end quote. The current Orangeburg Wilkinson campus on Brewing Drive is expected to become vacant when students move into a $125.3 million high school, which is projected to be completed later this year. Claflin's plan for the high school campus, as Warmack said, Claflin planned to use the facilities as home venues for baseball, softball, track programs, which currently lack dedicated fields and locker rooms. The university's baseball team, for example, currently plays at a city-owned Miro Field. The facility would become the home of the intercollegiate softball, baseball, and track field teams, Warmack said. University official also envisioned opening facilities to public for youth sport camps, athletic tournaments, and other community events. Quote, we want to open it up to have a variety of community events, end quote, Warmack said. Quote, we want to host Little League track tournaments that our coaches will lead and sponsor. We want community events around volleyball in the gym and baseball clinics to be able to go on there as well. And something they said that their college athletes would support in some ways in terms of being part of it along with the coaches, as you just said. So I thought that was pretty unique and pretty intriguing for both the county school board to see this as the opportunity to continue what they did to work with that and partner with the college. No telling what this may mean moving forward. Last thing here, before I open it up for a little bit of discussion. Quote, that is a piece where we really want to be able to ensure youth have the training and development they need, end quote. The school board members praised the proposal, citing both economic and community benefits. Quote, I think we have an act physical responsible as far as our constituents and taxpayers are concerned, end quote. Trustees Dr. William O'Quinn said, quote, I think they will do a great job taking care of the property, end quote. O'Quinn noted that the district would avoid the estimated $2.5 million cost of demolishing, the campus. He also said Claflin plans could generate economic activity by attracting visitors to Orangeburg and creating jobs through future renovation projects. Quote, we will not have to pay to have it demolished, end quote, O'Quinn said. So you see in so many ways the win-win for all involved. It's always good when you see the opportunity where communities come together, find a way to do something positive, uniquely with a private institution that we certainly keep up with because of the HBCU and ties in the CIAA. Mike, I'll let you jump out there first. What are your thoughts in terms of this partnership?
So when I read that and I saw that, couple of things, major takeaways. Claflin is gaining ready-made athletic infrastructure, baseball, softball, track. without starting from scratch. That to me is a win. It immediate elevates their athletic programs, it eliminates reliance on public shared fields, whatever. The other handshake, to be honest, is youth camps, clinics, tournaments. They can be hosted, coexistently hosted. Facilities remain active and beneficial for the community. The other thing is it's a pipeline for future development. You can use student athletes as mentors, provide training opportunities. So there's a whole lot. There's a thought question though. I don't mean to be negative, but who benefits the most from this deal and why? Is it Claflin because they get better facilities and recruiting? The local community youth, do they get the benefit? Or is it the taxpayers because they're avoiding costs or a combination of above? The pros, Claflin, they got immediate access. The community, there's a lot of pros to this. The cons, renovation costs could range, to me, upwards of 3 million. Claflin assumes long-term upkeep and investment risk, or is that been discerned or been decided? And then the potential for restricted access at overtimes or specific opportunities, I guess. That to me, those are my few takeaways and questions to me that are on the table. I think overall it's a good deal, it's a good model, it's a good sharing opportunity, but I think those cons of operational financial risk, they have to be fat. I'm sure hopefully they have been, fashioned out and been documented and memorialized as well. So
Yeah, I didn't go this deep because I wanted to get you in there, but your points are very valid. Then I come to you, 80 Drew. Claflin officials have not determined whether existing buildings on campus will be renovated or demolished. Womack said an architect serving on the university's board estimated renovations costs, and this is for the academic buildings. The rest of the campus range from 2.5 million to 10 million, depending on scope of the project. So they know at least some general costs, and they're going to do some more investigation in terms of how they determine to move forward. But you're right. They did talk about the cost of upkeep, which I think is something that, with this type of opportunity, you look forward because, frankly, it would be highly unlikely that you can invest in terms of building softball and those things. And then now you no longer have the costs associated with renting those out. Travel costs could be different. So there's still some benefits, even if you have additional costs where you reduce some of your costs on the other side. But great point there, Mike, to understand the depth and the fact that they did look at it, I think is important that they're starting to understand that cost. 80 Drew, jump in there and give your points on this front.
I think that this thing benefits the community probably more than anything else. Where those other people that you mentioned, such as the kids and Claflin themselves, are secondary. And why do I say this benefits the community probably the most? Well, if they use this as a community hub, like basically what they're saying right here, it's an opportunity to get kids off the streets and have kids in that facility. And if those kids are off the street and playing ball at that facility, guess where they're not at? They not in my house taking stuff while I'm out while I'm out lifing and everything. So that definitely could be benefits community with crime and everything else. Also, once again, that's off the books of the city. The city no longer has to do the upkeep and everything else on it, which means those tax dollars that would have been spent for a new roof or whatever, that burden is no longer on the taxpayers in Orangeburg. Claflin benefits out of this because, like Doc said, now they don't have to rent that park or whatever else that they have to go for practice and or games. Now they could use that facility that they own, they upkeep, and everything else. You know what else they could do at their facility now, Mike, Doc, Charles? They can sell a hot dog.
Yeah,
You can't go to the city park and sell a hot dog. The city sells a hot dog.
Yeah.
If they want to charge for parking, they have the ability to charge for their parking. If they want to charge a gate, they have the ability to charge a gate. Now, you're not going to make the cost that it costs to put on a baseball program or a softball program, but it does help. You know what else? And I think about it. I'm thinking about this building specifically. You know what we know what that high school has, and they kind of mentioned it. They have a gym. Now, whether you use that gym for volleyball or if it's AD Drew at that gym, I'm turning that gym into a hitting facility for my baseball and my softball team.
Yeah.
Because I've got the space now. Or the cafeteria into a baseball, into a hitting facility or pitching facility. So now I can start doing facilities. I can have meeting rooms. And with the rest of, and I don't know how this high school is designed, but that could possibly be renovated into dorm spaces. You know,
I was about to say
the opportunities are endless. And I did Google Map this. Looks like this high school is about 2.5 to 3 miles from the main campus of Claflin. So you know, you definitely there are definitely more benefits than drawbacks. I just hope Claflin put this in their budget. That's the one thing that I hope. Go ahead, somebody else.
Well, I think that's the only drawback. I mean, is the question becomes, on the surface it does look like a win-win for everybody, but the taxpayer aspect that you mentioned, taxpayers don't have to worry about it, but the future upkeep of the facilities for Claflin, at what point does it become a sort of a diminishing asset?
Yeah, I think you all hit it on the head in terms of what that looks like. And I'm fascinating of what this comes, and I'm sure also there's a value in terms of excitement. Just being able to look at the opportunities in itself brings a different air and excitement to all those involved about new opportunities for growth. And there may be some folks that think of things that that are not necessarily thought about now because they have a little more time to be excited about where this goes and where growth opportunities. And then there's also, to your point, there's some chances now where there's some public-private partnerships or private-private partnerships with the school that can be developed too, where folks may see an opportunity to develop outside of that, where Claflin can also take advantage of that. So I agree where a public component couldn't necessarily do that once the exchange takes place. AD, put a pin on it.
One other benefit, and this is a public benefit. Now with this facility, Claflin has an opportunity to possibly host multi-team events that they've never been able to host before. And if you want to talk about the community benefit of it, there's tax dollars for their gas that they're gonna spend when they come there, for the ice, for the drinks, for the food, for the heads and the beds if you do a multi-team event. So that's a benefit for the community if they're able to get to the point where they can host multi-team events at that facility there.
One caveat we haven't talked. We talked about costs. We talked about maintenance. We talked about a lot. Claflin will have to engage the community to address, because I know the community has a lot of these questions. So I think it's a win-win deal. But I think to make this successful, there'll have to be communication. Claflin will have to engage the community on this. To me, to put the cherry on the top.
I think they open it up well, engaging the community through the superintendent, obviously the quotes in the paper and speaking at the event. So the next step is to do that further about community engagement in terms of what that looks like. I think there's some time to develop what that looks like, and that's why I said the excitement takes place. Because now you have the opportunity to share that with somebody, and eventually maybe even bring somebody that kind of operates that and has the ability to provide what that partnership looks like beyond what they're doing now. So great picture to show everybody what
they
the
have a
location
separate
looks like from
football
athletics.
field and track. Oh my
track.
God.
Yeah, I know that's
Yeah,
huge.
from a high
That's
school.
big.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's a
That's
lot.
a huge
Yeah,
facility.
you never
Wow.
know
So
if
if you
you
want to
decide
add
to bring back
soccer,
football now or soccer.
Yeah.
yeah, football to soccer, you have a separate facility. I
Yep.
was just assuming the track around the football field, like at a lot of older high schools and everything.
Yeah, that's quite amazing. Softball, baseball, track and field, even a football.
And tennis courts, it looked like.
Yeah,
Tennis
tennis
courts up
courts.
top.
Yeah,
That's what I'm guessing is tennis. Man, who put this page? Gene Boo getting fancy with the graphics. I see you. I've been gone too long. Gene Boo getting fancy with it.
We're going to put a pin on it there, but I'd be remiss if I didn't tease this out for Thursday because this is something that AD Drew told us about. He told us at least a year ago, if not longer, saying that this was coming. And I'm sure MEAC is excited the fact that the conference is adding multiple women's sport championships. It looks like the NCAA that we talked about a couple of weeks ago are really close about naming women's flag football as a championship. And MEAC will be ready for that as they are adding women's flag football as well as women's golf as championship sports for 2026, 2027. I want to freeze because I want to tease this out.
Not to brag, Doc, but that was 3 years ago when I said that.
Was it 3? Oh my God!
No, it was
3 years. I've been saying
it was not 3 years ago. It was last year, Doc. Don't let him claim that.
I know he's been telling it for a while. It probably was 3 years ago now. Think about it, because right after that, you had Alabama State make their announcements.
What no 3 years?
So I'm curious though. This brings this up because I want you all to think about that. Will Alabama State ask for membership in the MEAC for that sport as a partial membership? What would that look like? How much challenge would that be? Obviously, travel involved there, but that would be a unique reversal partnership there. Let's put a pin in it.
You got a field to play on now. If y'all want to add flag football,
you can meet it halfway. Yeah.
Does South Carolina State get any benefit from it too?
No, I didn't hear any partnership there, but I would imagine that there may be some opportunity there. But a lot of that, they have those facilities. Yeah. And then I think it may have been a little bit more challenging to do it with another public institution because of those public rights there. So it's easier to do it with a private entity than another public entity, which is why I would surmise that they went this route in terms of what that looks like. But great question there. But we'll save some things. We have some other stuff to discuss. The week is young. I know it got y'all all fired and just talk about this, particularly with Mike back. You know how Mike brings the thinking cap on and gets us to getting in. I'm surprised he didn't find a way to sneak in some data metrics in terms of looking at things. But wanted to give him a shout about it. Again, we tease it because we care, Mike. It's exciting to have you back. Get your voice out there. Know you were certainly taking care of business, so we understand that. But again, we did want to acknowledge the fact that you're back in the fold. So as we finish up here, let me do our closeout as we traditionally do. Oh, goodness. Where is that closeout?
Need some help there, Doc? Oh,
yeah, I know, man. You need some, man. Y'all see France and Senegal? Man, ain't nothing like watching Haiti play.
Yeah, World we Cup. Could always sneak in a little bit of that sucker, man.
We gotta get some soccer in. I'm sorry.
We gotta get some soccer.
I saw Senegal.
I will say this though,
they celebration and Haiti celebration. Oh my goodness! Ooh.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Hey, that next matchup with Brazil and Haiti.
Haiti. Oh my gosh!
Mike, can we take a quick trip? Can we?
Yes, Brazil and Haiti.
Yeah, that is Friday. I do have my Haitian shirt.
I got my Brazil. I'm sorry, I got my Brazil shirt. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can make it work. Somebody was out there and they had it split in half because they were saying how much Brazil respects Haiti in terms of the history associated.
There's a lot of similarities.
Half of it Brazil and half of it Haiti.
There's a lot of similarities from a historical.
The thing I did want to say is kudos to Texas Southern University as the women's soccer coach after her first year. She got a chance to go to the newsroom and talk a little bit about the World Cup in some matches. She did a tremendous job breaking it down. So those opportunities, take the most of it. Good job. Shout out to Dr. Jackson. I'm sure as being the athletic director there was able to push some buttons and help facilitate and get that done. With that being said, I am officially ready. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. Let me thank Mike and the rest of the teams for putting up with that break there and getting back and get some discussion so we wouldn't have too much dead air time there. Good job by everybody. I am Dr. Kenyatta, the Dean of HBCU Sports, and coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop, and A.D. Drew. Again,
I don't matter no more.
For listening for Dr. Mills inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
That's
Mike
right.
Washington,
We're going to put you online.
We look forward to
hate you.
Discuss the latest news in the lab.
Say that alphabet.
DrYattacavil on Threads, Facebook, and Instagram. See how smooth I am? I just kept moving. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Facebook. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with YouTube. Dream big. Continue to move forward. Boy, Mike, going back to the hazing days, man. You trying to say that?
Say that alphabet.
That's not us still recording. We're talking to soon. Charles.
Of course.
Mike.
Lecture.
AD.
Dismissed.